Howdy friends and family, this is day 20 in the series I'm doing called In the Midst, and we are in part 4 looking at love from the definition we get in 1 Corinthians, and we just finished looking at love is not rude, and today we are looking at love is not easily angered. Your version might say irritable, it might say not easily provoked to anger, but these all mean the same thing. We don't get angry easily. And the first thing we want to recognize is that anger is not a sin. We see multiple times in the Bible where God even becomes angry, and we know that God can't sin. But he does get angry. He has a righteous anger, and he is angered by sin. We see in Deuteronomy 9:18, I fell down like the first time in the presence of the Lord for 40 days and 40 nights. I did not eat food or drink water because of all the sin you committed, doing what was evil in the Lord's sight and angering him. So the Lord is angered by sin, but he is slow to anger. In Joel 2:13, we see, tear your hearts, not just your clothes, and return to the Lord your God, for he is gracious and compassionate, slow to anger, abounding in faithful love, and he relents from sending disaster. So the Lord does get angry, and this shows us that anger itself is not a sin, but he is slow to anger. And when he does get angry, he is forgiving, because we have something that people in the Old Testament didn't, and that's Jesus. Jesus' sacrifice wipes away our sin. We've talked about this several times. We talked about it last time, that he makes us righteous. And so when God looks at us, he doesn't see the sin anymore. And so he is able to forgive us. And he's slow to anger, and then he relents from sending disaster because of our sin. But this is why we're told to be slow to anger, because for us, our reaction to anger is to sin. God is a perfect being, and so his anger leads to a righteous retribution. He is righteous and just in giving forth like the penalty for sin. But our reaction is often to sin. Our reaction to anger is not to this righteous indignation. It is sin. Ephesians 4 verses 26 to 27 says, be angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun go down in your anger, and don't give the devil an opportunity. Anger can lead us to hold a grudge. It can lead us to seek revenge. It can lead us to say unkind words, to think unkind thoughts. Anger can easily lead us to sin. And God does not want us to react to anger with sin. It's okay to be angry. Anger itself is not the sin. It is our reaction, our response that can be a sin. We should respond maybe by protecting someone, or maybe if we're angry that someone's being hurt, or we should respond by maybe giving a calm explanation that, hey, what you just did, that hurt my feelings, that made me angry. But we should not respond by yelling, with sin, with like an exploding anger, revenge, hatred, evil thoughts. We should respond in love. And we see that anger, the reason we are called to be slow to anger, and to, sometimes it even says do not be angry, is because anger opens us up to temptation. James 1:19 through 20 says, my dear brothers and sisters, understand this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger, for human anger does not accomplish God's righteousness. By being told, be slow to anger, we are being told to flee temptation, because it opens us up to the devil tempting us to sin. He is not saying being angry is a sin, but he is saying that we should not make it easier for ourselves to sin, because human anger easily leads to sin. And being patient and kind and forgiving, compassionate, thinking of others, these things can help us to be slow to anger. So no matter what you feel, this passive feeling, react out of love, not anger or sin. If you're memorizing Colossians 3:14 through 15, this is your reminder to do that. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.